Reva Minkoff is an analytics expert who graduated from Harvard, worked at Google, and then started her own consultancy that has worked on projects for companies like Facebook. In this conversation, we talk about making analytics meaningful for organizations at different stages of maturity. You have a different use case as a business person for your analytics platform, how you spend your time, depending on whether you're a startup or you're in a launch phase, if you're in a mid phase, if you're relatively mature. So,
or if you're a media company, or if you're a company that sells products, like they're just different. Or if you're B2B, like there's different things that you look for across the board.
So let's I thought that maybe a good case would be your case. So you're launching, or you have launched Digital Ground Up, and obviously you're like an analytics pro. And even though Digital Ground Up teaches digital marketing, you are basically having the same challenges of many launch businesses.
Right, definitely. In our website, especially in the beginning, we actually would track it every day, once or twice a day, just to make sure that we had the full numbers of how many people had come, how many people had gone to our registration page, and how many people had actually signed up. Because that was most important to us, both the conversion to registration page and for people signing up, and then where were the people who made it to the sign up page coming from, right? And where
so
the
you were
registration
using it frequently.
Oh yeah, like every day.
Okay.
Just to keep an eye on those pieces, like what's working, what's not, where are like the people who want to take these courses coming from. If we're doing initiatives, are those initiatives driving people, that kind of thing. I don't think we really needed to do it every day necessarily. I think it depends how fast you're growing.
Yeah.
But I think it is important to, even if you're just a smaller company, to start looking at those things. We could see, it helped us figure out pretty early on, like, what are some of the issues? Are people understanding things? We've done a couple partnerships and that haven't really yielded anything, and it helps us be able to measure that. Mm-hmm. So that's important. And I mean, analytics are still, there's still some stuff that we have to go and add into that report by hand. When they signed up, right, they were going through to our platform, so I could see the signups, but and I could see if they logged in, but ultimately, like, to track some of the people, we would actually look at the website sign and, like, on our back end, say, oh, we have this user, and I know that user is the person I talked to yesterday at this thing. So, I mean, there's still the manual bit, and for some sites, that manual bit has been more encompassing than others.
So it almost seems to me like, for the startup sort of phase, that it's kind of this experience of just tracking all these micro pilots that you're kind of putting out there.
Yeah,
just to
exactly.
Just to get some hazy view of which kind of stuff is working.
I think that's, 100%
okay.
How I would put it.
So then, like, of course, you got to protect your client's privacy and everything, but I mean, looking at more of like a mid-stage business, maybe, can you tell us a story, like, first, like, kind of what industry is this case you're thinking about? Were they spending money or not? What kind of were their goals? And what did you see? What was the story? What happened?
Yeah, so I mean, it's obviously a very wide open question, right? Because there are a lot of different,
Yeah,
but I mean, I think it depends. I mean, I guess the thing is, we've had some where it's really important, especially as you grow a little bit, to watch the visitor flow. So we had a couple cases where people would sort of yo-yo between a couple pages on the site. So they'd go to the About page, and then go to the Why page, and then go back to the About page, and then go back to the Why page. And maybe they'd go to the sign up page through there, but they weren't actually signing up. They'd go back to the About page, back to the... and that was a situation, I mean, again...
So these people are basically going like, what is this business all about?
Exactly. What is this site? And that's common with startups. Again, I think all these issues are sort of common across the board, right? So, I mean, I've seen it with startups. They were launching a new product, and it was happening for them too. And, that's the point where you say, okay, what's the messaging? Or can we make the messaging better? Even if we're getting some of those people coming through in the end, can we also, we see this, we have this opportunity here of all these people who are, having 4 or 5 clicks around the site and don't seem to really have an understanding of what we're about, what we're doing.
Yeah, it's interesting. As you're talking here, I'm sort of thinking about, what's different between the startup case you've just said and then the one that you're talking about now, which is more of like a sort of growth, early to mid-stage organization. And the visual that's coming to me is like, as a startup, you're almost like this like Jackson Pollock painting, or just a really abstract piece of art, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah, I think at the beginning you're just like, what's working? Oh my God, people are coming. Oh wait, are they people I don't know? Oh my God, people are coming who aren't my personal friends and family. Like, I think there's some of that in the beginning is
but
more
this
like
mid-stage, I'm seeing more like, it's not a photograph because you don't know what it is yet. But you're getting better. It's more of this optimization.
Right, you're getting closer.
Yeah, you're getting closer.
Exactly, and you want to see...
maybe more A/B testing,
yeah,
the messaging you're describing.
And you have enough data to start pinpointing a problem. They have big enough numbers. I mean, you start having big enough numbers to say, okay...
People are stopping
It's not
here.
just 2 people who've done this. We have, 100 who've done this, and that's like a much more compelling.
You're saying like the exit, for example, like 100 people have visited this, and that we've seen exits, and like clearly something's happening here, or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, again, exits are tricky because sometimes you want them to exit, but we know that we had 2,000 people go through this funnel, and we lost a third of them on step X. Mm-hmm. Is there a way we can keep some of those people? Mm-hmm. They made it into the funnel. They do 3 steps and they leave before step X.